Bist. Guess where I am? And it's not at my mum and dad's. And it's not at mine either. That's it, you've got it. Hello, Marty.
Hello, Lee. Pull up a chair.
I will.
Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to my garden. Thank you for joining me. And I've got an interesting one today. Today's a beautiful sunny Easter Sunday. And for those who are lovers of animals, or in this case lovers of birds, it's some stories and things related. Birds of a feather. I was coming back the other day down the motorway from work, and when you come to Birmingham you notice sometimes huge flocks of starlings, or in some cases seagulls. And it's a beautiful sunny day, fluffy white clouds, and I looked up and saw them soaring and flying, and it's the old proverb, isn't it? Free as a bird. And I was just thinking how good they've got it, particularly in these days. I'm sure many of you over the last year have either expressed this in their hearts or vocalised it to their loved ones or friends, that they wish they could just get away from it all, to some island, to some secluded piece of land, somewhere where they are unharassed and where there's no trouble. And just looking at them birds and thinking, well, you know, I was envious of them. I was jealous. And I've said to my wife, you know, these people that live on the Amazon, these native tribal people, they're untouched by and large from all of this. Now, if the day comes where they come with the old to actually enforce it upon them, well, they may get some blow darts back at them.
Yeah.
So, but I think they've got it really good. And I'm reminded from the scriptures, King David said in Psalm 11:1, flee as a bird to your mountain. And in Psalm 102:7, I watch and am as a sparrow alone upon the housetop. And again you find his heart in Psalm 55:6, where he says, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then I would fly away and be at peace. And King David had many troubles in his life, many enemies, many people wanting to take his life and running even from family members. So that oh, that we could just soar, rise up and fly away from all of this. There was a film in I think it was the late 60s, Lee. Do you remember the film Kes?
I do. Kestrel Fernay, Barry Hines wrote the book.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, the young lad who liked taking kestrel eggs, wasn't it?
Yes.
And he reared a bird, wasn't it?
Was his name Jasper?
Can't
No, I
can't
forgot.
remember.
It's been a long time. I know what you mean though, yeah.
Yeah. But for people that have had wild birds that they've brought up, I wonder if anyone's had that experience. In the comment section, when I was a young lad, mum and dad's, we had a row of conifers at the back of the shed, and these grow really tall. And one day, my sister and myself, we found a little songbird, baby songbird thrush, with a speckled, chest. We picked it up and we put it in the shed, and we fed it with breadcrumbs and worms that we dug up, and you could get these little eye drops things, so we'd put water in it and we'd give him bits of milk and bits of water in his beak, and we called him the Weed because he was so weedy. And at the same time, we came across two blackbirds, male and female, that were slightly injured, and we put them in the shed as well. So there were 3 of them. And when we would go in, they'd fly around and flap around the blackbirds, but the little baby thrush, he'd come and sit on us, no fear whatsoever. And in time, the blackbirds got well. We released them into the wild, but we couldn't do that with the Weed because he'd go and sit on a cat's head or something. He would have no sense of fear. But a friend of my sister's had a car, and he took. We all went to this bird sanctuary, and we settled the bird in with other birds. And there was another thrush there, and I like to think that he lived happily ever after on that one. Another occasion, I had we always had budgies, you see. Growing up, we had budgerigars, and later in life, I went on to have cats, not at the same time as birds, and a schnauzer dog as well. And I had, funnily enough, 3 of the 4 cats that I had never killed any birds at all, but the 4th one was an absolute psychotic maniac for killing things, and I used to put bells round his neck, and he'd take them off, or the kids in the neighbourhood would take them off, and people would say, you know that cat of yours? Yeah, I know. They'd say, he puts all the other cats in the neighbourhood to fly. I says, I know, he's terrible. And it's true. I remember one occasion he actually jumped on the back of the schnauzer and rode him like a rodeo ride around the living room. Anyway, where we were living then, I came out the front door, and you would go across a big green field, and there were shops in the distance. So I was just nipping down to the shops, and I was into the field halfway, and I looked back, and there was Theo the terrorist, the cat, and he was following me, and I says, go back. Anyway, he'd suddenly gone down on his haunches like this, and he was crouched down, and there was this big black crow, and he was provoking the cat. He was literally flapping his wings, jumping to the left, flapping his wings, and then jumping to the right, and the cat was on the floor like this, looking like this at him. Well, he was joined by this magpie, and I'd never seen this before. Magpies, you know, the black and white ones, and they have that cackling sound, not a very nice sound, not my favourite type of birds, it's sort of a and he joined the crow, and they decided to attack the cat. So he's crouched down like this, and I thought, oh no, please go back, Theo, I was saying, because I knew what was coming. I knew he would leap on the crow, dig his claws in, bite him, pull it to the ground. But this bird has big beak that could poke his eye out, rip his flesh, and it was not a good situation. Anyway, at the very same time, they both dive bombed the cat together, and he turned round and he fled for the hills. he ran back to the house, and well, incredible. I've never seen anything like that. I was in Milton Keynes on my dinner break, going back a number of years when I worked on the markets there, and I was in the shopping centre. Now, you remember the days when you could go into shops in the shopping centres?
Just about.
So I was wandering around a bit, and you come to a big square within the shopping centre where they sometimes put displays and things, and there were these like little. They looked like little statues, and there must have been 30 plus of these little things scattered as I was walking towards it. And I wondered what they were, and then as I got nearer, one of the statues, the head on it turned like that. And I realised they were living like little creatures. And they were these things, owls. and owls from all over the world.
Wow.
Big, small, different colours, different sizes. Never seen anything like it. Beautiful birds, and they had like weights on their talons, so they couldn't fly off and just, you know, go where they wanted. They jumped up a bit, flapped their wings, and then they'd put their head down like that, and then big eyes are looking at you. Them great big eyes. Beautiful thing to behold, because you don't see these sorts of birds in everyday life. And there was another one. I was visiting my friend Mark and Emily in Los Angeles in the United States. I used to work with Mark, and they invited me over, and we're all booky sort of people, so we went to the Los Angeles Public Library, and we were wandering around looking at a lot of stuff, and I'd finished, and I said, I'll meet you outside. So I went and sat on the bench, and beautiful gardens, sunny day, exotic plants, cactus type things, and I'm sitting there, and suddenly one of these turned up, hummingbird, and he came down literally within like a foot, 2 foot of my face. You know, with the wings, they're like moving about like this, left, right, up, down, shoots back, back again, and I've heard they're very territorial. So he probably thought, yeah, who's this in my garden? Eh? Who are you then? You know, and always remember, I mean, stunningly beautiful, very delicate little birds of all manner of colours. But just to have one to come right in front of your face and begin moving backwards, forwards, sideways, disappearing, coming back again, fantastic.
Beautiful bird, iridescent, aren't they, the feathers?
Have you ever seen one?
Only once in the
Yeah.
wild, yeah.
Yeah.
You think you see more of them, but they're really quite rare.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I was looking out the kitchen window into this garden we're sitting now a little while back, and I saw a very delicate little bird. Now, we've all seen the robins and finches, blue tits, things like that, and I was watching him, and I said to Jane, come and have a look. I says, what sort of bird is this? And I was concerned because he was walking around looking at everything. 40 minutes he was there because I clocked him, and I began to be concerned that he was injured in some way, but he could fly, and he cleared off in the end. But he was just happy, and his tail were going like this all the time, and I realised in the end it was like a what do you call them, a wagtail they're called. His tail kept going like this all the time. And then on another occasion, over on the roof of the house over there, we noticed one of these big stork type birds with really long legs, like a heron. Because next door they've got these fish that they breed with the nets on top. Japanese, what do you call them? Carp.
Koi carp, is
Koi
it?
carp. And so there he was, sitting up there, keeping an eye on the fish.
Yeah. His dinner.
Yeah. Brilliant. So, again, I was thinking, another verse comes to mind, Isaiah 40:31. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. In these days, we all need strength and stamina with what we're going through to go on. Now we're in April 2021. It was just the other day, and I was listening to Dr. Vernon Coleman, and he seemed quite demoralised that he was not going to continue with his video productions because he'd been really upset, and you could see it in him, and my heart went out to him. We all need our strength renewing. No matter how strong we think we are at certain points, we need to be strengthened, and we need to rise up and keep above all of this insanity, like an eagle, like an American bald eagle, or even like imagine those in the Andes, you know, Chile and Peru, the
Condors.
condors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the wingspan on them. Imagine one of these coming over the houses round here. What are they? 15 foot.
And massive things have got
You
to be,
know,
haven't they? Got to be 10
and
foot
they-
at least.
They soar. Hundreds, if not thousands of feet in the air, isn't it, for
Yeah.
these mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But when I've been flying, you know, in light aircrafts,
Yeah.
especially over Shropshire, there's buzzards,
yes,
and I've had them up to 3,000 feet. They're very clever, because obviously you don't see them till the last minute, because they're quite small, but they pull the wings in and drop.
yes.
They're now. Yeah,
That's
that's the aircraft is
There was a
predator.
place called near Milton Keynes called Leighton Buzzard. I don't know if they attract the buzzard. I'll finish with. Again, Jesus says in Matthew's Gospel that are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and yet one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. But the very hairs of your head are all numbered.
Mm-hmm.
Fear not, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows.
Yeah.
So that take heart with that. We're precious to God. And I want to show a clip. I don't know if maybe I need to go in the shade. with
Yeah,
this
I
one.
think so.
But this is. I'll come over here. Let's just move it.
Okay, I've only got a bit of memory left, Mark.
Literally,
so-
this is 40 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what we got is some sparrows feeding out my hand in Cornwall when me and Jane were on holiday. If I can find it. Where are we? I'll find it. Won't be long. Where's it? Here we go.
You got it?
I've got it. Okay, so here we go. That's me sitting there.
Come on, little one. Come on, have some of this. Get that down, yeah.
Quite brave.
Yeah. It's so there we are. There we are now. So from now on, you can call me St Martin of Assisi. All right. All right.
Brilliant. Should we leave it there then?
God bless you.
God bless. God bless.